This lesson has to do with the data integrity and reports as a follow-up on the client homepage. The fundamental resource for recording data about the client and their services is the client homepage. Data integrity is critical for accurate, complete, consistent reporting. Data should be entered in a consistent manner that adheres to specific rules. The Virtual Case Manager was designed with data integrity as a main priority to ensure accurate and consistent reporting for a single agency or for a large group of agencies collaborating together. Data integrity begins on the client homepage, and data integrity will produce accurate reporting. We're going to look at 5 reports just as an overview. There'll be another video at another time about more specifics on using reports. But the reports we're going to look at is number 1, the combo report. It's a numbers report, which is a breakdown of all services provided to different demographic groupings. The household statistical report, which gives you an age and family size breakdown for services. Services provided report, giving a date range and filtered by services and grouped by client demographics, showing actual clients who were served. The service location map is a heat map of family addresses serviced by an agency, and unique families served, a list of unique families that were served at least once during a given date range. I'm going to go to the Virtual Case Manager, and if you'll remember, under admin, so reports are basically an admin function, or it can be designated for someone who's not an admin, but they do need to look at reports. That's when you're creating staff roles. And on the left side of the page are administrative tools that we've been using, program sources, agency services, staff security roles, so on. On the right side are reports. The first report we're going to look at is the combo report, which gives you a breakdown of services provided by different groups. Here's a list of all the services on an agency. And on this agency, I could either check mark the ones I want to see or just select all because I want to know everybody that was serviced, say, last week in this agency. And I want to show the demographics information, ages, and all of these different breakdowns of information for services provided. So I'm going to do a search. So on most reports, you can put a date range and then select your services, which we have. And as we go down, you see that there was a total of 496 families served last week by this agency. It breaks them down demographically by were they single, married, widows, separated, and so on. That's all information that was brought into the report. And it all comes from the client homepage. The more accurate information you put into the client homepage about the client and the services received, the more accurate this report is. So it breaks them down by ages. Remember, you use the birth date for every client. That was a required field. It determines what the age range is by the birth date. It determines by what you've added in to the profile fields what race or ethnicity or income, if you're using income, and even agency services breakdown. How many received beans by a family of size of 2, and so on. Zip code breakdown. Where did they come from? What counties are they coming from? And how many from each county? And even custom field breakdown. This is all the combo report. I'm going to click here again and go to the household statistical report, which it looks like a report that you might see for a state report that you have to put in. I'll just continue with last week. I'm going to do a search here. And so it automatically fills in this information. It talks about the number of households, the age range of the people involved, how many household the household sizes, number of families that had 7 people in it, and so on. This is the household statistical report. Another report that's often used is once we get into numbers, now we want to get into actual individuals with numbers. And I'm going to scroll down to the services report area, services provided. So this will give us all the services provided for all clients within a given date range. So let's stay with our last week. And I can look at this report and see all of this information if I need to. And I'm just going to leave it as is. And I'm going to sort it by last names. So we'll just go ahead and run this report for last week. And here's information, and this goes by alphabetical, by the last name, what the program was, or when it was provided. If I want to see more, I click on this, and it gives me more information. Many times you don't need all that. So another way of doing this is go to this, and I'm going to uncheck all, and all I want to see is, say, the first, last name, the service, the amount provided, and the date and when it was provided. Okay, so you can look at our report now. This information is a lot more extensive. I may not need all of that. So I'll keep this same last week and I'll run the same report. And it will be the same people, except it's a little cleaner in that I don't have all the additional information that I did before. Now, one of the things that you can do in any report is download those results to an Excel spreadsheet. I'll open this up. And so I can manipulate this. I can use Excel or some other spreadsheet to change this information around, display it differently, color code it, and so on. So you have that option. And no, I don't want to save this. Okay, so this is the services provided. Another simple report is down here called Service Location Map. Let's go with last week again. And I'm just going to run this report, and a map is going to show up, as you'll see, and it's a heat map. So it's highlighted. These pink areas are the areas where people came from. This is based upon their address. And you can see on this map where the clientele was for this agency. And so if you say, well, I'd really like to focus on, say, down in here, then this map might help you out to change your strategies a little bit. And then finally, there's one called Unique Families Served. Now, in this report, again, there's several things that I could show in this, but in this report, what I'm going to do is count all the families, let's go for last week again, that were served, whether they were served once or 10 times within this date range. They only show up on this report once. So if you need to know the number of unique families served in a date range, then this is a report that gives you that. And it tells you about the family size, what county they were in, their address, and a lot of information like that. Okay. So to summarize and kind of finish this up, here are the areas of focus that we have for this video. One is for data, you need to be accountable. And to be accountable, data needs to be reported at the client level. Data integrity is maintained on the client homepage by the information you put in there, the demographic information, the reporting information, and so on. Reports are reliable because data is generated at the client level using reliable data collection methods. Here's some other features of the Virtual Case Manager that we just will bring to you in passing. One is you can refer clients to outside agencies. There is a website called connectu.org. It's free. It's part of the Virtual Case Manager. You can use it to refer to an outside agency, some client that needs a service that maybe you cannot provide, but you know that this other agency over here can provide. The Virtual Case Manager is scalable, it's flexible, data can be exported as we've shown you, and it has a mobile version of the Virtual Case Manager that can be used out in the field on like a phone or a tablet or a pad. It's been designed and updated to be simple and to be used for agencies and staff. I'd like to thank you now as we kind of close out this series about the client homepage.